Hi everybody, I'm Julie Kerr, writer and director of the romantic comedy Geek Loves Punk. I was asked to talk about the musical Hamilton, and so I ended up seeing it 3 times. I'm watching it for the 4th time. I listened to the music like tons a couple years ago when it first came out. So yeah, I totally want to talk about the musical Hamilton. I believe it came out July 4th. That's when I watched it for the first time. And I'm going to talk about 3 things I really liked about the musical Hamilton. And what I wanted to say was... Oh, the first thing I wanted to say was I have Disney Plus, and I think us Disney fans, we've been really like rooting for Disney Plus. And so my understanding is it was a really expensive thing for Disney to put together. And yes, Disney is one of the most successful entertainment companies of all time. So I know it's ironic that us Disney fans were like really rooting for Disney Plus. And my Disney Plus, when I signed up, it's $5.99, $6 a month for the entire Disney library, which is gigantic. So I thought that was quite the bargain, and I've been going through the entire library, live action as well, and like the nature documentaries. I've been going through all of it. So right now I'm in the 1970s. I've been watching Peach Dragon. But the cool thing about Hamilton is, my understanding on the internet is that basically Hamilton is Disney Plus's big hit, my understanding. So it's basically, I guess Disney Plus was looking for the hot, you know what I mean? Basically Netflix had Stranger Things. My understanding is Hamilton, this is the big hot ticket thingy, like it's a huge hit for Disney Plus. And I think that's super exciting and awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna say 3 things I really like about Hamilton. I'm really glad it was a hit for Disney Plus, just because I think Disney Plus is cool and I've been rooting for it. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about 3 things I really liked about Hamilton. The first thing I want to say is, like, yes, the music is absolutely outstanding. So from that standpoint, like, it's just really good music. And to me, there's no duds. Like, basically just for, I think it's like 2.5 hours. For 2.5 hours, it's good song after good song after good song. Essentially, like, I'm sure we all have our favorites. Actually, my favorites are all the ones with the Schuyler sisters. But all the songs are really great. But my favorite thing about the Hamilton is the Hamilton. It's just Hamilton. But my favorite thing about Hamilton is that the message is extremely powerful. So they talk a lot about I'm not giving away my shot. So Alexander Hamilton was a writer, essentially. So he had to write, but he just wrote a lot, and all that writing really helped our country ish. Yeah. You know what's hard about Hamilton? It's really great music and has a really great theme, but I should probably go back on like Wikipedia or something and learn all the facts about the actual guy, Alexander Hamilton. But the theme of the musical Hamilton's really good. So they talk about I'm not throwing away my shot. That's a really great song. A song about how Alexander Hamilton and all the dudes in the play, they're gonna like fight for the freedom of America, because America is fighting for freedom against England at the time. It's owned by England. It's about the independent war. So, and then they talk a lot about freedom, and then the Schuyler sisters, they have a part where they sing, and they talk about how they next time they write the Declaration of Independence, they want it to include women. And I was like, yes, they have this great part where they're quoting the Declaration of Independence, and they're saying next time it needs to include women as well, and in fact it should also include everybody. But the theme of freedom is super important, because freedom is a spiritual thing, in my opinion, regardless of what you believe in as far as your personal religion or spirituality. But freedom is something super spiritual, in the sense that freedom belongs to everybody, regardless of race or gender or sexual orientation or any of the things. It just belongs to everybody. Hey guys, location change. So yeah, Oh, right. Yeah, so basically freedom belongs to everybody. Like, freedom belongs to every race, every gender, every sexual orientation, like everybody. It's spiritual, and the personal freedom to be who you are and live the life you want, that belongs to everybody. And that's a great theme that really resonates right now, considering everything that's going on right now. And also, it really resonates because it resonates because I watched it on the 4th of July as far as Hamilton, so I was eating fried chicken and potato salad, and I had a really great 4th of July, and then I was watching Hamilton, and it was just, it was fun and cool and awesome, and it was a really amazing, it was a great way to celebrate 4th of July. So, yeah, the theme's pretty powerful, right? And the theme of the USA is fighting for its freedom from being a colony of England or Britain. So yeah, it's a great theme. Okay. The second thing I really like about the movie is that, or the show or what have you. So I love what made this so interesting is that, like, the entire cast is, for the most part, it's people of color. It's like probably like 98% of people of color. So you have George Washington being played by an African-American guy, played brilliantly. I'll put the actor's name right here. Okay. And Alexander Hamilton, sort of a Scottish immigrant, played by Lin-Manuel, being played by Lin-Manuel Miranda, a Puerto Rican American actor, well, genius, because he wrote it and directed and starred in it. And so you have all these historical characters who were essentially white, played by people of color, and they're singing, the songs are very, like, new and fresh, and there's, like, rap, and there's hip-hop, and there's just, like, it's just a very fresh, it takes, like, old information-ish, historical information, and kind of spins it on its head a little bit, which is super powerful. But the other thing that it does is, one second. So yeah, so most of the cast, these are historical characters or people who actually existed, and historically they were white, or but they're played all by people of color, or actors who are people of color. So Burr, I forget his first name, but Burr, basically the rival of Alexander Hamilton, originally a white dude, but wonderfully and amazingly played by African American actor. I'll put his name right here. I'm bad at knowing actors' names, but everyone in the show is extremely charismatic and funny and great at singing. So the entire cast does a really, really, really great job. And information that could have seemed dry, or we sort of already knew this, although I don't think a lot of us knew a lot about Alexander Hamilton before this play came out, but I think, like, basically taking kind of historical information and then just spinning it on its head and presenting it in a fresh, new, awesome way, just kind of makes the information more interesting. And the story behind Miranda, I believe the lead, is that he read a book on Alexander Hamilton, and then there's another musical called 1776, and so basically those two things just really interested him, and he put his own spin on it, and it's a very delightful spin, because it's just, when I listen to the soundtrack of Hamilton, it's hard not to sing along, it's hard not to dance along to it, like I'm not giving away my shot, whenever they sing about freedom. Also, there's a line, my favorite songs are the Schuyler Sisters, like all their songs, and there's one song where they say they're singing about they're in the greatest city in the world, which is like New York City, and you know, and New York City is this huge iconic city that, represents America, and like, so Hamilton's just like, essentially it's positive, and it's feel good. I mean, there's sad stuff in it, and there's struggle in it, and there's sad parts in it, but it does have a feel good feel to it, in the sense that it's just emphasizing how important freedom is, and who can't get behind that, who can't just not just want to do cartwheels over that theme. So, and by having people of color singing songs about, or people of color, like actors, a diverse cast, singing about things like freedom, singing about things like New York City being the greatest city in the world, singing about not giving away your shot. In that song, he's like my country, I'm young and scrappy. Hamilton talks about not having a lot of money at first. So the idea that seeing actors who are racially diverse singing about these very powerful themes like freedom makes the message that much more powerful. And the idea is that our forefathers, when I went to elementary school, or when I went to school in general, like, we were taught that, like, and hey, I grew up in small town Virginia, but, you know, we were, one of my favorite YouTubers, Quentin Reviews, he talked about this in his review of Hamilton, but we were taught that, like, George Washington or Thomas Jefferson were, like, pretty much superheroes. Like, they're, like, Superman or Batman. Like, we weren't, especially when I was in, like, elementary school, we weren't taught any of the, like, bad stuff. And then once you learn more about your country, you like middle school, middle school, right? That's 6th or 7th, 8th grade. You start learning a little more about the complexities of the history of America. You know, you learn that, you know, George Washington, all the forefathers, or most of them, did own slaves, which is, like, heartbreaking. Or that I was taught, because I remember writing a book report on Thomas Jefferson when I was a kid, and I thought he was, like, the coolest dude ever, because that's what we're taught, right? And then, you know, Thomas Jefferson owned slaves, and his affair with one of his slaves, which she was, like, 16 when they started it, which is not good. I'm putting it lightly. That's, like, really bad, and that's hard information to hear. So it's like, basically your heroes fall a little bit. But in what Hamilton allows you to do, and what Lin-Manuel Miranda kind of allowed all of America to do, is, because this is my third most favorite thing about Hamilton, is, because the actor who plays George Washington, who's, like, you know, I was taught he's pretty much Superman, right? So but the actor who plays George Washington, I'm gonna put his name here. He's so good in the role. He's powerful, and he's a leader. His voice, his singing voice, is outstanding. But yeah, he's like, he does such a good job of implementing or portraying, and who he is, portraying who I thought George Washington to be when I was, like, a little kid, like, writing reports on him. But, okay, so my third favorite thing about Hamilton that I think Lin-Manuel Miranda allowed us to do as people by writing this play is, like, basically, you can take, like the good stuff, so, like, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Alexander Hamilton, like, and they did good things, right? In the sense that, like, they did fight for the independence. You know, we America right now could still be a colony of England, and that would probably not be awesome. So there are things that George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, or all of the founding fathers, there are things we can be happy about, the good stuff that they did, and that's what Hamilton more talks about in the in talking about the themes of freedom and talking about the themes of, fighting for what you believe in, and fighting for the life you want to live. That's a big theme in Hamilton. And then there's this part where Hamilton, played by Lin-Manuel, and he's with David Diggs, who plays Lafayette, who is from France. So you have essentially a Scottish immigrant and a French immigrant. And they have this line where they say something like, immigrants built this country, or something like, oh, immigrants are awesome, or something. They say something like that. Basically something super positive about immigrants. And in the recording, the audience cheers and claps. And for me, I'm cheering and clapping because it's a super powerful theme. It's a super powerful theme. It really resonates right now in 2020. But just realizing once upon a time, Scottish people and French people would have been considered immigrants because that's what they were. But now, in 2020, immigrants in 2020, they're going to be more diverse. But they're still, well, for me, they're welcome. They're very much welcome here, in my opinion. So, and I know that's like a super hot topic issue right now there's so many hot topic issues right now, politically speaking, in 2020. But yeah, it's like Lin-Manuel Miranda, or Hamilton in general, kind of allows us to be proud of like the good stuff that our founding fathers did do. And we can be proud of the good stuff and then acknowledge and show remorse for the stuff they did that wasn't cool. And not only that, it's also like learning from what they did that's not cool. So it's like, okay, Hamilton allows us to be proud of freedom, proud of good leadership, proud of fighting for what you believe in. It allows us to be proud of that. It kind of, I hate to say it, but it says, the musical almost tells us it's okay to be like a little bit patriotic. Not too much, but like a little bit, and it's okay. Oh, right, because I want to say on the 4th of July, I walked down, I live in Oakland, California, and we have a lake in the middle of Oakland, and I walked down to the lake, and I went to Whole Foods, because that's where I got the potato salad and like a piece of fried chicken and all that, and I saw an Asian American guy on the 4th of July, and he had the entire USA, like, his whole outfit was USA. He had a hat USA, he had a shirt USA, he had shorts USA, he had like shoes like red, white, and blue, his whole outfit. And I don't think he was wearing it ironically, like he meant it. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like he was proud. It's like, hey, it's 4th of July. And he's like, I live in USA. And he's like, yay, like that's his vibe. And I was like, cool, and then then I walked around the lake for some exercise, and I saw this Indian American guy, and he was with his friends and a group of Indian American people. They're super cool, and he was wearing this like USA flag jumper, like it was a onesie. So his entire onesie was like red, white, and blue, and maybe it was being ironic, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think he was he's like, hey, it's 4th of July. I'm going to wear this onesie. That's the entire American flag. And I was like, oh, wow, cool. So basically it's like just a little bit of patriotism, not too much, but just a little bit where basically there's so much happening in our country right now. I'm a huge supporter of Black Lives Matter. I believe in reparations in regards to Native Americans, in regards to African Americans. I'm not an accountant. I'm not an economics major. I don't know what that would look like, but I do think the government, where there's a will, there's a way. So I do think that's something we should do. I think America needs to show remorse for the atrocities that we've done to other races and people of color, and we need to do that. But so I'm well aware of like there's a lot in America we need to work on and we need to fix, and I'm a huge advocate for the middle class, and so there's a lot in the USA we need to fix and all that. But I feel like Hamilton coming out on the 4th of July just sort of said, like, you know, or just Hamilton in general, it's like, we can be grateful and happy about the good stuff about the USA, and there is good stuff, you know what I mean? I really believe in gratitude. I'm an optimist who believes in hope, and, you know, the fact that it's, I don't know, the fact that it's Lin-Manuel Miranda telling Americans, like, look how far we've come, and look how awesome life can be, I guess, in general, and look how awesome our country can be. When we're good, we're really good, you know what I mean? So it's like the most powerful message of Hamilton, in my opinion, is telling us Americans, like, it's okay to be a little bit patriotic in the sense, like, yes, like, we stand for freedom, and freedom is for everybody. It's for everybody. Everybody. So, I don't know, like, I can listen to Hamilton and feel happy and feel good about the good stuff in regards to the USA. And we had to hear that message, in my opinion, from an entire diverse cast. It's a message we needed to hear, in my opinion, from people of color. Like, the message of personal freedom, the message of not throwing away your shot, the lessons of fighting for what you believe in. This is something I think we Americans needed to hear, especially right now in 2020, and I think we needed to hear it from Lin-Manuel Miranda, Daveed Diggs, and I'll list all the other cast members here. We needed to hear it from extremely talented people with hearts of gold. We needed to hear it from the musical Hamilton, and we needed to hear it from a cast, the diverse cast that was in Hamilton, because the theme of Hamilton is super powerful. So yeah, so I totally recommend it, and it's a really great play. And it's on Disney Plus. So yeah, the 3 things I like about it is I like the theme of freedom and not throwing away your shot. The second thing I liked about it is that it is the cast is predominantly people of color. And the third thing I like about it is because it's a cast of people of color singing about freedom, it gives us permission to be, oh, you know, there's good stuff about the USA, and we have a lot of problems, but we're gonna figure it out. And we're going to make America a place of freedom and joy for everybody, for all Americans and all immigrants, in my opinion. So Hamilton's a great play. It's a great musical. I totally recommend it. It's just, the message is so powerful. And the music's phenomenal. And I dare you to watch it without immediately wanting to just start singing and dancing with the cast, because it's that powerful what they're talking about. They're talking about freedom. So I totally recommend Hamilton. It's a great musical on Disney Plus. Yeah, it's really good. It's totally awesome. Okay. Oh, yes, and I'm Julie Kerr, writer and director of the romantic comedy Geek Loves Punk. Thank you so much for watching. And hi everybody, if you really like this video, subscribe, like, ring the bell, leave a comment or question down below, and I'll totally answer any questions you might have. That would be super awesome if you could do that. Also, if you really like romantic comedies, independent, nerdy romantic comedies, then I would love for you to go check out the romantic comedy that I wrote and directed, and it's now available at my website. It's a super awesome movie, and it's less than $10 to watch it. You get to keep it forever if you decide to watch it, and you get to download it. You can download it, you can stream it, and keep it forever. Also, if you have any questions about the movie, I'll totally engage with you, because yeah, I'll totally do that. There's like a comment section under where you can watch the movie. Also, if you could totally join my email list, that would be super awesome. When you join my email list, you get access to discounts on my movie and any like swag type stuff. And if you join my email list, you immediately get access to the 5 daily habits that I do to help me cultivate more love, joy, and kindness into my life every day. So it'd be super awesome if you join my email list. And you can actually check out my awesome romantic comedy called Geek Loves Punk, or join my email list, or both. You can do both. You can all do that here, right here. I'll put that right here as far as my website, www.juliekerrstudios.com. That's Kerr. Alright, thank you so much. I hope you have a really awesome night. Talk to you later. Bye.